Hi, my name is Tara Weitzel. I'm the director here at Discovery Playschool. We run a full-time daycare and preschool program. So we actually have been open for almost 30 years. Amazingly, I am only the third teacher in that amount of time. So we started out as a very part-time preschool program. However, about 2.5 years ago, I took over as the director with the plan to expand into an all-day, full year-round center. Right now, we have in between 25 and 30. However, we are licensed for up to 50. I knew that I was looking to expand, and part of my decision was I wanted to see if my business proposal was feasible. So going through the consultations, I was able to pitch the plan that I had already basically pitched to my board, and I was able to fine-tune like the finances and if it was reasonable for my area. But then we also profited with the funds that we received at the end, which is what I started our expansion program with. It really gave me a more realistic idea. Around here, the centers are pretty limited, and being able to hear about other centers, it gave me an idea of gauging, am I in the ballpark for what I'm offering? Do I need to reevaluate my rates? Am I competitive with my staff salary? And being able to interact with so many other centers helped me decide going forward the policies that I was going to put in effect. It's always important to have another set of eyes. What you think you have worked out in your head logistically, in practicality, might not be the best solution. Being able to talk it over with people that have seen other models and different experiences kind of gives you a second set of eyes to evaluate whether your plan is the best choice for you at that point. There were a couple things. After I went through all of the sessions, I realized that my tuition was severely under where it needed to be. And in a small town like this, it's very easy to limit yourself in that possibility, where when I started to research what other places offered and things like that, I realized that I was not anywhere near competitive at that point. So I reevaluated my staff salaries. I reevaluated the programs that we offer and the tuition in those programs. Like for me, what I learned through there, even though it wasn't anything new for me, it kind of gave me a new perspective. Like, if I had already done X, Y, and Z, and I still didn't have the results that I wanted, outside of the box, what else could I do to influence those results? So one of the things that we did was we started fundraising. Our tuition brought in a certain amount, but the expansion that we were going to need required more income. And so we started fundraising for our next expansion. And our community has been overwhelmingly supportive. When they realized the new things that we were offering, we had partners that are like, yes, we see the need, like let us help you purchase supplies, let us fill in those needs. So while it wasn't a monetary gain, it got us into our community and it got community involvement. And that's something I never would have pursued if I hadn't been forced to think outside of the box. Like, all right, I've already done 1, 2, and 3. Now what? So we actually partner with several employees here in town where they subsidize their employer's tuition if they bring their children here, because they realize that their employees need to feel safe about where their families are. So we have several factories that pay up to 50% of their tuition, up to $6,000 a year. So like for families that need childcare, that is a huge benefit. One thing that is specific to us is because we are located in a retirement center, we interact with our residents upstairs. So for the residents upstairs that don't have visiting family, we go, and our kids call them the grandmas and grandpas. We go up and we visit through there, and it's fabulous to see the kids interact. The adult residents love the company, and it's something that is very unique to our program. So for me, it wasn't overnight. This is actually, this summer, we are doing our second expansion. However, this second expansion would not have been possible if I hadn't gone through that cohort class and did my first expansion. My first expansion was fairly small. We just went from a part-time preschool to an all-day preschool center, which in terms long-term, it's not that big a deal. You're just here a few more hours. But that sets the stage for our expansion that we are now doing, where we now accept infants through the age of 12, and we've tripled our enrollment by this second expansion, which I never would have been able to do had I not done that very first small step.